Federal ministers fulfill their accountability with respect to ministries, agencies, and parastatals under their purview by demonstrating appropriate diligence and competence in the discharge of their responsibilities. Since they form the crux of the Federal Executive Council, let's share with you their scorecard in the business of driving governance on the minister's platform. Thanks for joining us. It is of critical importance to bring you latest verifiable information and development across the federal ministries, agencies, and parastatals across the Federation. Welcome to Ministry News. The Federal Executive Council (FEC) has approved 90.8 billion naira for the rehabilitation of Kashimbila Takum Chachangi Road in Taraba and the procurement of equipment for some airports in the country. The Ministers of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, and Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, made this known when they briefed State House correspondents on the outcome of the Council's meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday in Abuja.
Council approved the proposal for the rehabilitation of the 91.94 kilometer Kashimbila Takum Chachangi Road in Taraba State in the sum of 66.983 billion naira.
The Nigerian Airspace Management Agency has a statutory mandate to enhance safety and security of the Nigerian airspace. Hence, the urgent need to upgrade the facilities to enhance their capabilities for better performance in conformity with technological advancement and industry-based practices.
The Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Salihi Magashi, retired, recently hosted a three-man Brazilian delegation on bilateral talks led by its ambassador to Nigeria, Ricardo Guerra. The minister will noted that the existing bilateral military cooperation between the two countries has grown exponentially over the years, especially in the area of training, assured the envoy that the delegates of the Ministry of Defense will attend the Defense and Security Exposition, which will be held at the Brazilian Embassy next week. The Brazilian ambassador, who expressed optimism that both countries stand to benefit in the critical exchange of intelligence, training, and modern fighting equipment in troops, was accompanied by his deputy, Mr. Ronaldo Lima, and the defense attaché, Colonel Almer Cosa dos Santos, thanked the minister for the audience. He, however, assured the defense minister of robust engagements at the third edition of the Brazilian Defense Exhibition, slated for the 21st to 22nd of June. The Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, has urged Nigerians to secure affordable housing through the National Housing Program. The minister will make the call while performing the formal handover of keys to beneficiaries of the first phase of the National Housing Program in Imo State, added that the housing units are being offered to the general public in a non-discriminatory manner and will be allocated on the basis of who applied first. Represented by the Federal Controller of Works and Housing, the minister noted that the program had entered the completion phase, urging interested persons to go through the official portal to ensure their applications were not inhibited by any artificial obstacles. The Federal Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Mr. Deni Adebayo, has commended the good works of Lagos Leather Fair which has held over the past 5 years, noting that the fair have created a solid platform where everyone within the leather ecosystem can meet up and hold conversations on how to move the industry forward. The minister made this observation at the just concluded 2-day Lagos Leather Fair to discuss the roadmap to the future of the leather industry. Speaking at the fair, the convener, Lagos Leather Fair, Femi Olayibi, noted that the impressive turnout of key stakeholders at the fair is a positive testament to the value that the finished leather goods sector for the wider industry, if properly harnessed. The minister further pledged that his ministry will continuously drive support till the potential of the leather industry is fully harnessed in Nigeria. The fair also featured masterclass conversations that addressed the challenges of cross-border payments for SMEs, the role of the AFCFTA in aiding intra-African, and ways to enhance growth for businesses within the leather industry. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, has disclosed that the federal government has approved the establishment of e-learning centers for primary schools across the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. The minister, who stated this while briefing correspondents at the end of the virtual Federal Executive Council meeting, noted that the issues involved in the ongoing strike by ASU and other 3 university-based unions are more complicated than they seem, fielding questions on why the government approved the establishment of e-learning centers but was unable to resolve problems with unions in the public universities. The minister said that the government is worried over long closure of the institutions and it's making frantic efforts to ensure that all the contentious issues are resolved. The minister argued that despite the challenges at the tertiary level, it is of paramount importance to improve and upgrade the education system at the primary school level.
The purpose of the memo is to provide each senatorial district in the country satellite-based education system for about 4,360 users, and it will include installation of 109 receiver satellite unit modem and antenna in 3 schools in each state, installation of 109 solar unit for receiver terminals, and deployment of 4,360 Android tablets.
The federal government is perfecting plans to eliminate multiple taxation in the transportation sector. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Transportation, Dr. Madeleine Ajani, who stated this at the just concluded 2-day National Transformation Technology Conference and exhibitions organized by the Forum of Transportation Commissioners in Nigeria, said the removal will help reduce the cost of transport business. She further argued that it is high time the hydra-headed, unregulated multiple taxation in the sector be dealt with, as it is inimical to business sustenance. Various speakers were, however, of the conclusion that with the Federal Ministry of Transportation involvement with the conference, they are hopeful and optimistic that the points and various issues raised will be used to generate policies that will aid growth in the transportation sector. The federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Health, has selected Gombe State as one of the 7 beneficiaries of the health scheme tagged Resilient and Sustainable System for Health (RSSH) for being proactive in healthcare delivery. The team leader of the RSSH, Dr. John Adedoyin from the Federal Ministry of Health, who was accompanied by the officials of the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, disclosed this recently when they paid a visit to the Gombe State Ministry of Health headquarters. The RSSH is a health scheme designed to support the Nigerian government to strengthen its health system, policy standards, and curtailing the deadly diseases of AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria (FAN) has revealed that Nigeria lost at least 1.25 trillion naira for maintenance of its aircraft to foreign maintenance repair and overhaul (MRO) facilities in 2021. Speaking on Tuesday in Abuja at the inaugural National Aviation Conference organized by FAN with the theme Advancing the Frontiers of Possibilities for Safe, Secure and Profitable Air Transport, the Managing Director of FAN, Captain Rabiu Yadudo, said that such capital flight will have been saved if the country had viable MOR facilities that could adequately cater for all types of aircraft.
Potentials and capacity in the global air transport industry is grossly underutilized. If we are desirous of attaining the status of a major player in the global aviation sphere, this is the time to reposition and move the industry forward.
On his part, the Federal Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, in his goodwill message disclosed that the President Muhammadu Buhari-led government would any moment from now sign into law the Civil Aviation Bill passed by the National Assembly, which will bring about rapid growth, opportunities for stakeholders and investors.
I assure you that aviation sector is a place where you can put your money and you will not lose.
And finally, on ministry news, the 10-year Football Development Master Plan Committee set up by the presidency to redesign football development in Nigeria will on June 29, 2022 submit its report to the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Chief Sunday Dare, in his office. The committee, led by renowned sports administrator Alhaji Ibrahim Galadima, was inaugurated late last year to map out a 10-year development plan for Nigerian football. Some of the members of the committee include Chief Segun Odegbami, Sunday Olise, Mr. Yemi Idowo, Dr. Bode Durotoye, Honorable Oyo Omodiran, Mr. Musa Amadu, and Sheyi Akinwumi, amongst others. Let's share with you the business of governance as it transpired in recent times from the presidency. President Muhammadu Buhari Thursday in Kano said his government will deal with those profiting from the climate of fear and rampant insecurity nationwide, urging new and existing officers in the Nigerian police force to rise to the occasion of defending the country against elements who are determined to keep the citizens in perpetual fear. The president, who was speaking at the passing out parade of the regular course 4 2016 cadets of the Nigerian Police Academy, Wudil Kano, noted that his government is working within its available resources to place the Nigerian police force amongst the most efficient security organizations in the world.
Who take laws into their hands, who bear arms illegally, and who seek to profit from a climate of fear and insecurity will be decisively dealt with. That remains our promise to the people of Nigeria who elected us to keep them safe and secure. The peace and stability of our dear country will continue to be of utmost importance. You, the police, are our appointment, and you must rise to the occasion.
In a bid to clear the persistent fuel queues by motorists in FCT and other parts of the country, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved an increase in the freight rate being paid to transporters of petroleum products. The development was as a result of repeated complaints due to the inability of petroleum product transporters to purchase the diesel required to run their trucks. This, they said, was due to the hike in pump price of diesel, which was currently dispensed at about 850 naira per litre. The approval by the president was after due consultations with industry-wide stakeholders at the instance of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. And finally, from the presidency, the Abuja campaign office of President Muhammadu Buhari, which was opened for his campaign in 2019, has been donated to the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The office was donated to the APC flag bearer several days after Tinubu emerged victorious at the APC convention. The development, which was revealed by a member of the House of Representatives and leader of the Tinubu support group, James Faleke, noted that the campaign office, which was sited in the Central Business District of Abuja, is well equipped with information and communication technology as well as a database call center, while other existing outlets will become annexes. The celebration of June 12 as Democracy Day may have come and gone for this year, but President Muhammadu Buhari's Democracy Day speech to Nigerians cannot be forgotten in a hurry because of the strong message which harped on unity, national integration, peace and freedom. Let's share with you the historic speech.
Fellow Nigerians, I join you all today to commemorate and celebrate our Democracy Day. It is a celebration of freedom and a victory for one people, one country, and one Nigeria. As with all democracies, we will always be going through improvement processes in our desire to reach the goal of a mature democracy, a strong, evolved, and integrated nation state to be reckoned with globally. In the last 2 years, we have witnessed and overcome a good number of testy challenges that would have destroyed other nations, especially relating to our collective security. The indefatigable can-do spirit of the Nigerian has sustained us and will keep pushing us to put these challenges behind us. Unfortunately, some of these challenges came in the shape of violent outrages, leading to loss of lives of many of our dear compatriots and the destruction of some of our infrastructure, including those devoted to improving our democratic processes. Once again, I want to render my sincere and heartfelt condolences to the families and friends of our gallant servicemen and women who lost their lives in the line of duty and as sacrifice to keep Nigeria safe. I extend the same condolence to the families and friends of our countrymen, women and children who are unfortunate victims of such senseless arsons, kidnappings, and murders. I also share the pains of families and direct victims of ransom seeking, kidnapped victims who went through unimaginable trauma in the course of their forced imprisonment. Let me assure my fellow citizens that every incident, however minor, gives me great worry and concern, and I immediately order security agencies to swiftly but safely rescue victims and bring perpetrators to justice. Fellow Nigerians, when you elected me as your president in 2015, you did so knowing that I will put an end to the growing insecurity, especially the insurgency in the northeast, but the unintended consequences of scattering them in the northeast push them further in country, which is what we are now facing and dealing with. We will, by the grace of God, put an end to these challenges too. Unfortunately, like in most conflict situations, some Nigerian criminals are taking undue advantage of a difficult situation and profiteering therefrom with the misguided belief that adherence to the democratic norms handicaps this administration from promptly and decisively tackling them. We are already addressing these obstacles, and we will soon bring some of these culprits to justice. We are, at the same time, addressing the twin underlying drivers of insecurity, namely poverty and youth unemployment. Interventions led by government and the Central Bank of Nigeria driving economic growth over the past 6 years are targeted mostly to the agricultural, services, infrastructure, power, and healthcare sectors of the economy. In the agricultural sector, for instance, the Anchor Borrowers Program resulted in sharp decline in the nation's major food import bill from $2.23 billion United States dollars in 2014 to $0.59 billion United States dollars by the end of 2018. Rice import bill alone dropped from $1 billion United States dollars to $18.5 million annually. This initiative, supported by local production of rice, maize, cotton, and cassava, government financed 2.5 million smallholder farmers cultivating about 3.2 million hectares of farmland all over the country and created 10 million direct and indirect jobs. Several other initiatives, namely agribusiness, small and medium enterprise investment scheme, the non-oil export stimulation facility, the targeted credit facilities operated across the 774 local governments. In the manufacturing sector, the Central Bank of Nigeria, Bank of Industry, 200 billion naira facility financed the establishment and operation of 60 new industrial hubs across the country, creating an estimated 890,000 direct and indirect jobs. The CBN's 50 billion naira textile sector intervention facility increased capacity utilization of generators from 30% to nearly 90%. The Economic Sustainability Plan, our rebound plan for the COVID-19 pandemic, developed in 2020, is currently being executed. The plan is primarily focused on the non-oil sector, which has recorded phenomenal growth, contributing over 90% to the GDP growth in the first quarter of 2021. Though marginal, we have recorded GDP growth over 2 quarters, second quarter of 2020 and first quarter of 2021. This is evidence of a successful execution of the Economic Sustainability Plan by the federal government. My vision of pulling 100 million poor Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years has been put into action and can be seen in the National Social Investment Program, a first in Africa and one of the largest in the world, where over 32.6 million beneficiaries are taking part. We now have a national social register of poor and vulnerable households identified across 708 local government areas, 8,723 wards, and 86,610 communities in the 36 states and the FCT. Our conditional cash transfer program has benefited over 1.6 million poor and vulnerable households, comprising more than 8 million individuals. This provides a monthly stipend of 10,000 naira per household. I have also recently approved the National Poverty Reduction with Growth Strategy Plan that augments existing plans to further reduce poverty in Nigeria. As at the end of 2020, the Development Bank of Nigeria had disbursed 324 billion naira in loans to more than 136,000 micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises through 40 participating financial institutions. I am to note that 57% of these beneficiaries are women, while 27% are the youth. We are able to do all this and still accelerate our infrastructure development through sensible, transparent borrowing, improved capital inflow, improving and increasing revenue through capturing more tax bases, and prudent management of investment proceeds in the sovereign wealth fund. Fellow Nigerians, our infrastructure revolution continues with key projects attaining critical milestones under the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. The second Niger Bridge, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and the Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano Expressway. I have also approved the establishment of Infraco PLC, a world-class infrastructure development vehicle wholly focused on Nigeria with capital structure of 15 trillion naira. The rail system is not left out as the Itape-Warri standard gauge rail was completed and commissioned 33 years after construction began. The Lagos-Ibadan double-track railway line, which I have just commissioned, has commenced operations. We are focused on ensuring that our infrastructure drive is key to economic growth and one that can be felt by every Nigerian. Building critical infrastructure in our ports is also opening up opportunities for the Nigerian economy. My approval for 4 new seaports using public-private partnership approach is hinged on growing the Nigerian economy. These 4 seaports, Lekki Deep Seaport, Bonny Deep Seaport, Ibom Deep Seaport, and Warri Deep Seaport, will create massive job opportunities and foreign investment inflows. We have worked at deepening our eastern ports leading to success, like having 3 container ship berths at Calabar Port, a first in 11 years. Similarly, on 30th October 2019, an LPG tanker operated by NLNG burst in Port Harcourt, the first time an LPG ship is berthing at any of the eastern ports. As we invest in these new assets, we have also made strides in ensuring that they are secured and protected. In this regard, I am also pleased to note the launch of the Nemasa Deep Blue project, which is an integrated national security and waterways protection infrastructure that I recently commissioned. Government is, however, willing to play a critical role in the constitutional amendment process without usurping the powers of the National Assembly in this regard. As a nation, we have come very far from where we started, and we are getting incrementally closer to where we ought to be. Overcoming the present challenges is but one of the necessary processes that we have to undergo as a nation so that we can come out stronger. The day I joined the Nigerian army, I was prepared to lay down my life for Nigeria. As your president, I remain ever committed to upholding and defending Nigeria's corporate existence. In adhering to the fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy, notably Section 14, subsection 2b, I shall do all within my power to ensure that the security and welfare of the people remain the primary purpose of government. I have, throughout my tenure, provided the security agencies with all they require relative to available resources and will be providing more as the dynamics unfold to put an end to our security problems. My strong belief in the Nigerian spirit gives me comfort that we are facing these challenges with renewed commitment to keep our country one. I thank you for your patience and attention, and more importantly, your resolve to join hands in making Nigeria the country of our dream. Happy Democracy Day. God bless us all. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
On our ministry, agencies and processes in focus segment this week, we bring you facts you need to know about the National Film and Video Censors Board. The National Film and Video Censors Board, NFVCB, was established by Act 85 of 1993 as the official regulatory agency for the film and video sector of the Nigerian economy. As a critical agency under the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, the core goals of the NFVCB is to provide an enabling environment for the growth of the film industry through its activities, to manage the classification system of time, cost, and quality standards, to provide policy advice and services to government, to enhance confidence in and utilization of the NFVCB classification system among existing and potential clients, to enhance community understanding, confidence, and usage in relation to classification systems and outcomes, and finally, to continually empower the National Film and Video Censors Board management and staff to meet its objectives by providing the requisite internal capacity in the areas of people, training, logistical support, information, financial resources, and leadership. The functions of the board include to license a person to exhibit films and video works, to license a premises for the purposes of exhibiting films and video works, to censor and classify films and video works, to regulate and prescribe safety precautions to be observed in licensed premises, to regulate and control cinematographic exhibitions, and to perform such other functions as are necessary or expedient for the full discharge of all or any of the functions conferred on it by this decree. The establishment of the board therefore empower it to access, classify and register films and video works across the country, monitor the films and film outlets. As priority intervention mechanisms, the board has delineated additional actions items to organize training programs focusing on new content development aimed at institutionalizing international best practices in film production, organize international conferences on film censorship, classification impact on society and development draft, and successfully implement new national distribution policy to transform the industry and ensure increased independent productions, get access to the market, launch new censorship and classification guidelines to aid filmmakers and professionalize NFVCB operations, and to equally regulate and prescribe safety precautions to be observed in licensed films, and finally to ensure wider community acceptance and confidence in the board's classification decisions, amongst others. The National Film and Video Censors Board believes strongly that Nigeria should define her identity from the movie's global window. The vision aligns strongly with the Art of Africa project and the Rebranding Nigeria initiatives, and comes across as the strongest force of global goodwill and influence for Nigeria. Nigeria in the Movies initiative addressed the salient issues of credibility, authenticity, visibility, and marketability of the Nigerian film industry. The National Film and Video Censors Board is currently under the able leadership of Alhaji Adedayo Thomas, who is the Executive Director, CEO of the agency.
The fact that there are no strict laws that governs or guides tenants.
For like 2 years now, and I have not seen one person ask me to pay 1 year.
Yeah. I like this city because of the opportunity, job opportunities.
The prisoners, they are not comfortable where they are, and once those outside has their people over there, they try to bring them out. They should try and tighten the security of this country, number one. They should make the prisons comfortable, and while they are there, they should let them have something. At the end of their term, when they come out of the prison, they should have something to fall back on. Not that they will just push them outside and let them be roaming about. They will be the one that will break those prisons.
Government should try and rebuild our correctional centers just to increase our securities and empower them. Because most of the security agents, their weapon, I think, is nothing to write about.
They should do their internal security network, make the internal security network effective.
The security of our prison places should be tightened up.
The security personnel we have is not enough. If there's enough security, I'm very certain that such thing will not happen. The security on ground, they need to be at alert always. So when they are at alert, if at all they are trying to attack the prison, then they will know what to do about it.
The right thing to do for them is to create a maximum security. If there is a maximum security, there won't be anything like that.
Governance at the ministerial level is serious business. That's why on the minister's platform, we focus on the progressive and impactful relevance of governance from the ministerial perspective. Join us again on the platform next week. Thanks for watching.